With our daily practices and lifestyle, we are making a large carbon footprint. I am Noman, and I am making a presentation to introduce the fact that hydrogen in a liquid form is extremely reliable and eco-friendly. It has the ability to produce electricity with creating no byproducts other than water. This model is to teach children or future adults about a simple type of fuel cell and a more efficient type to successfully present this idea and to motivate the use of hydrogen in the near future. I planned uncertain work on a standard PEM fuel cell diagram model, but then when I received my rubric on the science talent search, I realized that the model had to be interactive like the one I had. When I realized that the static model was not going to work, I had to come up with a crude experiment type interactive model. Now so I'm not doing an experiment, I am doing a model, which meant that I have to add some decoration and make it more realistic. So I created this house. With the new lights was that if we clicked the battery on, they would light up as usual. But as soon as we disconnected the battery to help the fuel cell do its own job, the lights immediately went out because the energy generated by the fuel cell isn't sufficient enough to drive the light bulb on. Hydrogen is the lightest and most abundant atom in the universe. It has an atomic weight of 1 and has 1 electron and proton. It has no neutrons. This hydrogen cannot be found in just one. It has to be in pairs of 2. This is because it has only 1 electron in the shell of the atom, which means the shell is unstable and the atom is unstable. If it can group up with another hydrogen atom, then the shell has 2 electrons in it, meaning that the molecule is nice. One of the reasons hydrogen could be notable as infamous is because it is extremely flammable. It has caused the Hindenburg disaster. Picture a hydrogen fuel cell as a 5-layered box sort of thing. The first layer is a container called the anode that holds hydrogen. On the other side of the fuel cell, there is a container that holds oxygen. This is called the cathode. In the middle, there are 2 catalysts between the hydrogen and an electric membrane. Now hydrogen is stored in the anode tank, and it wants to go to the oxygen stored in the cathode. But there is something barring the way: the electrolyte membrane. The electrolyte membrane allows only positive atoms to go through. But since hydrogen has 1 electron and 1 proton, it's neutral and is not allowed to. What they have to do is get a catalyst, usually made out of platinum, to separate the hydrogen into its 1 electron and 1 proton. The proton is sent through the membrane, while the electron is sent through a wire to a component which it powers, and then it ends its journey using another wire to the cathode, where it joins up with the proton that made its way through the membrane and joins up with the oxygen at the cathode. Makes water and becomes excess. Unlike the original PEM fuel cell, my fuel cell is simple and can be made at home. I needed a plastic jar with battery clip and test leads for the multimeter. The multimeter with the test leads, the 9-volt battery, and a bottle of water. At this stage, the battery has been connected to the fuel cell. As you can see, bubbles of hydrogen and oxygen are now forming around the platinum wire electrodes. So when I take the battery off, the electrolysis process will finish and reverse. The hydrogen and the oxygen will combine, and this means that some of the electrons will get left behind and be picked up by the wires to be used as electricity. Was to upgrade this model, money was not a concern, and certain products were available in Australia, and I experimented with using thicker platinum wires and boost converters, which would mean that I would possibly be able to power this light. I did this project because I believe that hydrogen is the most sustainable type of fuel. If hydrogen was the norm since the start of the Industrial Revolution, then global warming could almost not have been a thing. Hydrogen is the key to unlock a sustainable future.